Hi, Rose here, founder of McDonald Bookkeeping Services, and I'm back. And today we're going to talk about Project 2025. And I have been reading up on it for quite some time. And what I did is I actually pulled from the Project 2025 site, from our government site and Senate site. So I'm going to read you a little bit about what I have found, and you can check it out for yourself. So let's get started. So, how Project 2025 will harm small businesses. Eliminates federal economic development funding critical to rebuilding main streets in struggling regions of the country. Eliminates Small Business Administration, the SBA, direct lending, including aid to disaster and impact small businesses and homeowners. Attacks the Minority Business Development Agency, weakening the vital services they provide to small and medium minority owned small businesses. Jettisons a national network centers that assist small manufacturers in increasing sales and creating jobs. Abolishing key support for small businesses looking to grow international markets for their goods and services. Removes support for historically disadvantaged. Eliminates core SBA entrepreneurship development and innovative programs that are in place currently. Um, Undermines states and local workforce training by eliminating federal investments in the skilled workforce small business need. Eliminates critical student debt relief. Will raise costs of financial burdens that prevent entrepreneurs from starting a new business. The extreme Republican plan would undermine small business growth by cutting the critical capital and support programs for small businesses while raising costs to entrepreneurs. And yes, this can be actually found, this is accurate in the Project 2025 agenda. Now, what's at stake for the working people is weaponizing civil rights laws. Project 2025 would twist civil rights laws and agendas to attack efforts to improve diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, which we're aware of in the DEI. In the workplace, it would even prosecute private employers that support DEI in the workplace. Cutting overtime protection, Project 2025 would roll back groundbreaking overtime rules that were in place earlier in the year, resulting in loss of overtime protections. Millions of newly eligible workers. This would definitely like something that I would never agree with. And undermining workplace safety, it would roll back federal rules to keep workers safe and healthy on the job. This specifically includes making it easier for employers to hire children. Which, wow, that's horrible. Busting Unions Project 2025 would make it difficult or even impossible for workers to engage in collective action and organizing. It calls for allowing employers to get rid of unions in the middle of a contract, and it calls for making it easier to deter union from forming and retaliating against employers who try to organize their colleagues. It says employers should no longer be allowed to voluntarily recognize unions. It even calls for banning public sector unions altogether. And I think we all recall that both Trump and Kamala were in support of unions, but this is definitely saying in the current status that we are in, it does not. Making it harder to root out discrimination, Project 2025 would stop the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, from collecting important data related to employee race and ethnicity, making it impossible to detect and stop many patterns of discrimination. This would be weakening the minimum wage. Project 2025 calls for Congress to allow states to get waivers of the Fair Labor Standards Act, would govern the minimum wage amongst the protections. It would also allow employers and federally funded projects to pay less than the prevailing wage in their region. I mean, there's a lot more involved, and this actually all can be found, plus more. This is just some of the direct stuff that I print out directly from the Project 2025 agenda. So let me know what your thoughts are. So to learn more about the services that we offer, visit McDonaldBookkeeping.com today. We'd love to hear from you. Bye for now. Until next time.